Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of ILLflips. I'm Jordan by Brown from ILLstrips. So this is just going to be a follow-up to the previous video going through the haul of comics I got from my comic shop sale during the Thanksgiving period. So I may as well just crack into it. I'm going to start off with this House of Mystery. I got this on the cover alone really. I liked the composition, thought it was pretty interesting. You have this kind of Olmec head with this crystal eye cursing these two explorers, turning them into some sort of goofy looking monsters. There's a couple of stories in here. It's from 1963. Some more interesting looking than others. Got this war story. A little reminiscent of Foxhole, chapter in the new Dan Clowes Monica. These war stories, I'm sure, were a big inspiration on that particular chapter. But here's your cover story. Creatures of the Vengeful Eye. This needs to be some sort of adventure, explorer type gimmick. Shooting some tigers, some leopards. And here's your corresponding panel to the cover, which is actually pretty well redrawn in here. Just shrunk it down. And it's, you know, the art's kind of fun. I like the colors. I like it all in the newsprint. Those creature designs are a little goofy. They look like they're part of a float from a parade or something. But those this House of Mystery series has quite a lot of nice looking covers, so this one was at a pretty good price, so I grabbed that. Otherwise they're a little steeper. Creatures on the Loose, which seem to be Atlas reprints of the original Marvel monster comics. Creature from Krogar. Got a Jack Kirby cover and Jack Kirby and Dick Ayers story to open it up. I really like this creature design. Great weight, great movement. He looks like a big heavy fucker. And here he is emerging from the TV set to kidnap this fella. Some cool panels in here. Bearing in mind these stories are pre-Fantastic Four and the beginning of the Marvel Universe. By not too long, but even at this stage you can tell that they haven't really developed that Marvel's house style that Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko will carry on for so long and inspire so many to come. Midnight on Haunted Hill. And there's a Reed Crandall werewolf story. Werewolves seem to be a big theme around this time too. This reprint though is from 1971, so there's even a few werewolf comics in this pile by pure coincidence. Here we go. I like that panel at the end. So yeah, you get a couple of good reprints in these. Nice little package. Here's 2 issues of Ghostly Haunts, number 32 and number 50. What a blurry looking print on this cover. And then so she seems to be the horror host of these ghost stories. This first one is Steve Ditko. Got these brush rain clouds, pretty atmospheric. And the deal with this seems to be just this lady hosting a variety of ghost stories. Joe Staten on this one. Not really feeling those ghosts. Or Caspery. But this is good. This is Papoyette. The art here is not quite nice. There's the nicest looking story in here. And he does a good treatment of ghosts. I like that panel there at the hand coming through the door. So yeah. And then this one, number 50, you got this big monster on the cover. Same deal. These are Charlton comics. Don't have too many of those. So it's always worth just grabbing one and seeing what the interiors are like and if they're worth picking up any more of. I think I'll have my fill after these two. But they do have some eye-catching covers too throughout. This is nice art though. I think this is Carlos Villo or something. Some interesting textures. Spattery looking, but pretty inky. I like this little castle here too. And here's your corresponding story to the cover, which is by Rich Larson. Cover by Rich Larson also. And this is nice looking. It's probably the nicest looking story in this one. These they're speedy looking comics. They look drawn at a pretty fast clip, which I'm sure they were. Here's a great cover by Miller. Spider-Woman issue 32. Another werewolf story, and you have this collage of the classic horror monster movies and a werewolf diving on Spider-Woman. Fangs of the Werewolf by Night. So in the previous video I did go through a Werewolf by Night comic, which had a cool cross-section cover. Don't have any Spider-Woman comics. To be honest, I didn't think I ever would, but I did like that cover, so that's why I picked this up. A werewolf transformation here. This stuff is nice looking. Some interesting shots and angles. The pencils are by Steve Lialoha and Jim Mooney on the inks. Michael Fleischer story. That's nice looking there. See some magenta effects and speed lines. Some good panels, good action shots. throwing people around the place. And all is resolved. Rima the Jungle Girl, from DC Comics, 1974. And I actually think the art in this is really strong. It's a really nice looking leopard or jaguar, I guess. And it's a great anaconda. The scales on the anaconda are really well done. It's difficult to draw snake scales. And it's not dashed out, it's all pretty thought out. I think it's pretty good. I'm trying to see who drew this again. Like, this is great. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Barry Windsor Smith, especially this face on the cover. But no, it's not him, so... Even, like, the animals are really well done. These butterflies, birds, bears, bunnies. Some cool effects here. Coming into clarity. Just move this in a little bit. Got the jungle girl watching him from the trees. And the animals remain consistent too. Sometimes well-drawn animals fall off further into the comic book, but it's a nice little range here. Got some anteaters, bush babies, crocodiles, tapirs. Pretty cool. Here's your snake again, your anaconda. Yeah, it's good to have comics like this. I like drawing jungle scenes. There's a few in my comics, and this is good reference for future swipes. There's a Space Voyagers here by Jack Olek, which is also pretty cool looking. A little sci-fi story. And I'm trying to find out the name of the artist. I'm sure somebody is screaming it off the top of their head right now, but I don't recognize it. Well, if you know, stick something in the comments. Anyway, nice looking stuff. Here's a Barry Windsor Smith Iron Man. Barry Windsor Smith obviously really good at just drawing wires and machines and machine men. So this looks a little bit like his Machine Man 4-part story. And he's plotting it also, and colors. So yeah, it has the Barry Windsor Smith colors too. Quite a Weapon X. This stuff's pretty great. So vibrant. The Barry Windsor Smith colors. It's nicely done, these colors here, allowing Iron Man to pop in this mass of bodies. Check that out. Really cool. It's got one of these weird ring send away advertisements. What year this is from. 1988. Got your Eric B. and Rakim era. Gold Gucci bling. Always good with the wires, as I said. Pipes, tubes, whatever. I'm not sure the name of this character. I need to read it. I'm probably not going to read this stuff. I think it's just nice looking for the art. Intimate Enemies. Okay. This is an Art Adams X-Men. Some nice group shots from the start. Nicely intricate title lettering. And these are just full of detail. I think I saw this on the Kayfabe channel at some point and added it to the cart. That's usually what I do with this stuff. It's just see a few comics over the year, add them to the cart, and if they're still there around Thanksgiving, grab them. Thanksgiving is around the time of my birthday. I don't actually celebrate Thanksgiving, but my birthday falls pretty much on the same day, so I usually get something then. Some great drawings in here. Really like that. And I think they probably mentioned on the Kayfabe channel, Art Adams, he doesn't do a whole lot of comics. So when he does, he puts his best effort in. Really nice details throughout this. Wow. Monsters, werewolves, ogres, orcs, all sorts. Star Trek Enterprise. Great looking costume designs. Really nice. Wow. Yeah, this is a good one. Nice. Storm's hair is really nicely done in this too, and then check out that white and black background for the big explosion. Low-key looking pretty nice too. I think it's Loki. Giant size annual of X-Men number 9. So yeah, you get quite a bang for your buck from that one. Thunder Mace, issue 1. Pretty cool cover. This is the series, there's a few of these, I thought I'd just grab one to have a look. Kind of sword and sorcery type stuff. but nice illustrations. And I'm thinking, what's the name of it? I think it's just by Robert Krause, but let me see. Oh no, sorry, yeah, Robert Krause and Rick Sellers. Rick Sellers doing this back cover art. This kind of stuff is great. Kind of Drule-esque. This is pretty nice too. Yeah, you got kind of a nice variety of orcs, goblins, demons. Then 2 issues of Star the Slayer by Richard Corbin. Number 1, 4. Again, seems to be a guy writing a comic within a comic. A little bit like that Batman story we saw, which is always an interesting idea. Corbin doing his kind of house style almost when he does stuff for Marvel Max and Dark Horse. Sometimes he does quite like an inky pen style. Seems to be his most efficient style for. He's not painting loads of backgrounds and sculpting crazy figures and whatnot. Still always very enjoyable to look at, but more pared down Corbin. But with his usual tropes. Big crazy looking faces. Busty warriors. Strong men. Interesting storytelling techniques. It's nice looking. This guy looks like a dad of a friend of mine. And then into your next issue. This is like almost Corbin doing kind of a Conan type character. More of these busty warriors. Some protective headgear. This must be 2009. Could be Corbin's last Marvel stuff. Not sure if this comes before or after his Luke Cage and Punisher and Ghost Rider stories. That kind of style though. There's 4 issues of this. I just got the first 2. Metamorpho, the Element Man, number 13 and number 14. I don't have any Metamorpho comics. I like the look of the character design, especially from this era, DC Comics, on newsprint. Fun colors, crazy looking ideas. Metamorpho morphing into all sorts of shapes and sizes. Chemical Witch is the name of this lady. Art by Sal Trapani and Charles Paris. By Bob Haney. Yeah, like I said, it's sometimes just interesting to pick up one of these and see what's on the inside. But I think I've had my fill of Metamorpho now. But like I said, also I do like the character design. It's a fun comic. Bongor, Warrior of the Lost Lemuria, Pack of the Lizard Hawks. Vince Colletta inks on Val Mayrick. I can't remember why I picked this up. I think I saw it maybe on an Instagram page or something. Thought the cover was cool. I actually thought maybe, I remember there was Al Williamson connection maybe at some point, but maybe not. Pretty Conan-esque kind of stuff. Dinosaurs, mostly warriors. Dr. Fate from these first issue specials. I like the look of the cover. Sphinx flying through the sky, eye-catching. I like comics that have certain settings in them. Egypt is always one that I think looks great in comics. Venice is another. Good to have in the catalog if you ever are doing a story set in any locations that you're interested in. And pull these out and have a look. Here's some Egyptian stuff. Anubis. Eye of Horus. Monks. Nice Tarzan dinosaur out in the middle. But I don't know anything about this Dr. Fate character. She already bought it on the Sphinx cover. I like that little perspective. That's pretty nice there, this Anubis character looking at it. And obviously it's a mummy story. Horus. And it's drawn, I think, by Walt Simonson. $1975. Walt Simonson. Cybernary by Nick Manabat. Small run of these. They're backups on Deathblow by Jim Lee. Got it for the Nick Manabat art. It's pretty badass looking. He died at a young age, so he doesn't have too many comics. But there's some good stuff. Probably look a little bit more interesting with a different color treatment. bit overwhelming. Pretty great at the same time. Sure he would have gone on to have a big career. Doctor Strange. This is a Michael Golden issue of Doctor Strange. Don't know too many Michael Golden comics. Don't know too many Doctor Strange comics. But he's an interesting artist. Strange proportions and big bug eyes in his characters. It works well for this Doctor Strange story. Again, I can't remember where I saw this or why I picked it up, but it's cool looking. There's always good effects if you get the right artist on a Doctor Strange story, those kind of cosmic magic. Like this. Quite simple techniques. If you use it right, you can make the art look really interesting. Cosmic Blast. If you're looking for just little things like that, you can swipe for your own work. This is a good one. I always like his house too, with this big window. Splash page. This is a Michael Golden cover, which is nice. But who's the artist again? Gene Cohen and Dan Green. And you can really, when you look at this one and compare it to the previous one, you can really see why Michael Golden is a great artist. Not to say this is bad, but the last one is much more exciting looking, I think. Maybe it's a different subject matter, but this is just a little dull looking in comparison to the Michael Golden work anyway. Heroes Inc. presents Canon. This is just a selection of, well, it's kind of a one-man anthology by Wally Wood. You have this Dragonella, the Misfits, and then some Canon. This was an episode on the K5 channel. And it's a nice comic. There's a really good display of Wally Wood's range within the 3 stories. An artist who could do it all. I like this Misfit story in particular. These moon craters and stuff. And this character is particularly cool. He looks great here. Big rocky gorilla. Dragonella. This is like a more cartoony, kind of semi-cartoony, semi-erotic Hollywood style. Busy panels. All really well drawn. Making too many shorts. Panels that work, huh? And then here's Captain America. The only reason I bought this was for the subway cover. There's obviously a flying subway in my series Cosmic Slop, so if I ever see a subway in a comic, I'll usually try and grab it. And this, I think all the tags are Marvel artists. Not the best treatment of a tagged train, to be honest, but different thing in mind. Jerry Bingham and Alan Gordon on the art duties. A lot of guys drawing comics and some of the stuff we've shown off. That's kind of always interesting. Let's see if there's any subways in the interior pages. Meh. Sometimes good to see just how another artist will draw something that you draw on the regular. Well, I don't draw subways too regularly. I try not to. They're a pain in the ass to draw. But you might find a good shorthand. They're complicated, especially when they're flying in space. Then there's 2 issues of the new Jimmy Olsen, drawn by Jack Kirby. Got this for the Jack Kirby art, inked by Vince Colletta. Vampire story, got some werewolves, Superman, they're pretty hefty too. They're all new size or something like that. That's some interesting stuff inside. Kirby Tech vehicle on top of it. And then a Kirby classic, so you can see some of his earlier work. Yeah, with him and Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Yeah, that's interesting. It's cool the way they have that as a backup, so you can kind of compare it to different Kirby eras. So yeah, you get a little bit more bang for your buck with that one. The backup story. Bigger and better. This is the following issue. That cover. Genocide Spray. And here's this interesting planetoid with horns. Kirby always good at the monsters and cosmic stuff. Good werewolf. Very like the horror movie Werewolf from the 1940s. Oh, the whole gang is there. Back to that. Bride, Werewolf, Frankenstein. Superman in motion with a pretty cool background. Colors. And then you get this Newsboy Legion classic Kirby back up again. And this is the last comic book. There's a small little stack of sci-fi paperbacks that I got too, but Tales of the Unexpected. Again, I like the cover. Interesting, just the way that magenta is just this blast that's turning this character into stone. It's from 1963. Pretty average art. Butterfly ant looking dudes. Those are a little better. Alien birds. This guy's pretty dodgy. Hedgehog creature. And here's the cover story of this dude turning some sort of space traveler into stone. The others are cover illustration. Must be creating some sort of a museum. Space Ranger and Krill. Alright, I'm tired now. And then I picked these up. They're like €1 or $1 each or whatever. Thought the covers were nice. Didn't know what was going to be inside them. I had a feeling they were probably going to be just text. But it's a science fiction analog. I also buy sci-fi paperbacks for the covers sometimes. It's a pity they have this big library sticker or something on the cover. Good colors though. Quite psychedelic looking. Vibrant. These two, I like the blues and the pinks on these. And this strange little Martian dude serving up some Rubik's Cubes. So there you have it. The Mycomicshop sale haul. Hope you enjoyed that video. Like, comment, subscribe. And check out my own comics on ILLflips.com if you fancy. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.